Hello, my name is Bradley Burke, also known as Magnus from Art. I am a 3D game artist with a passion for creating visual and immersive and engaging worlds. I'm originally from Ohio, and I love to work on both 2D and 3D artwork. I specialize in 2.5D models, in-tune cell shading. I've always been fascinated about how to shape and texture different models and characters and how to implement other environments from the outside and implement them into video games. I love to be able to gather different sceneries and try to make them as immersive and stylized as possible within games, as well as transfer as much emotion and convey as much emotion to both animation and characters as possible within the video game scene, as well as the animation for visual. My journey into 3D art started roughly when I was in high school, when I took a multimedia class, in which, for my senior project, I taught myself completely a lot of Blender and how to both 3D model and sculpt, as well as learning how to texture and create different environments, all self-taught up until I went to college, where I gained a much deeper insight into how to both 3D model and rig and texture, as well as create much better topology within models, and just overall make my 3D modeling much better overall, as well as my animation skills and my UV mapping skills. I wish in about 5 years I can definitely see myself working in some very big game studio where I can expand on my skill set much more, such as something similar to like Naughty Dog Studios or CD Projekt Red, where I can learn how to intricately create much more stylized characters and integrate them more into my own style, or even learn more about their own styling processes to build up my own repertoire. Overall, I can also talk about some of my early works, which were more of my pixel art and 2D styling art, which I created a while ago for different characters that I wanted to embrace and express myself as. Up here in the top, you can see this almost TV head stylized character, which was one of my very first art pieces that I was really proud of, because I felt it very much embodied what I wanted to be as an artist, as well as got me started on the right track to how I wanted to start expressing my art. And further down in here, you can also see other 2D art pieces on how that character has also evolved throughout the years, both within the horn shape as well as much more artistic styles and choices for both hair, eyes, shapes, definition lines, shading. I feel that this character has very much embodied me as an artist from when I was starting till now, and the growth from that also can be seen heavily in that work. Later on, I started doing a lot more 3D modeling and strayed further and further from 2D. And it started with a lot more environmental design due to the fact that it was easier for me to create simple shapes and create these much better environments, such as this cabin, where I started envisioning and experimenting more with lighting, trees, gradients, textures, and other stuff like that to create a more cohesive piece that almost embodies a kind of style or image and texture. And from there, I went on to creating more characters again, starting again with my TV model, which did have more simple shapes starting out, and then slowly evolved into a more humanistic body type and topology-wise, as well as UV mapping, which allowed me to expand heavily on the already basic skills that I already had incorporated and learned a while ago. Overall, I feel like I have a very broad skill set, but I would like to definitely, for future employment opportunities, be able to narrow that down to a very specific skill set, preferably something within 2.5D, to where I can still work on 3D models but give them almost that cartoon, shady stylized appearance. And within that, I also am very fluent in both Blender as well as Maya, and creating game assets, developing riggable models, and also being able to animate and texture multiple different characters. Overall, I would love to work for any company and very much look forward to being able to collaborate with different like-minded individuals with varying skill sets to see what amazing projects can be made in the future. Thank you again. All my different links for contact are on my website. As you can see, there is both my email, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, and my Instagram. If you'd like to contact me on any of those for future employment opportunities, I would be more than grateful. Thank you and have a great day.